pounds. Manchester City managed Newcastle to a 4-0 victory. Arsenal 4 points closer to the top of the table with Liverpool still at the top. Napoli trailing at the moment against Lazio 1-0. All this and many more in today's edition of Sportline. I am Olujimi Dare-Ogun. In between all of this, we promise to take you to your destination in style, giving you the latest traffic updates within the metropolis. We go for this breakdown when high return. We talk everything traffic updates, and then we start with Yannick Sinner, who has been banned from 3 months from everything tennis.
Record of life. Everybody get their own lane. I beg, maintain your own lane. And if you must use the next lane, make you trafficate well. Make me for no get big game for the road. My name now is Song, aka Mr. Songs, and the king maker be this. Record cause I gotta pay bills. Record cause I wanna live big.
Still Lagos traffic reading at 6.1. Traffic update very quickly before we continue with the rest of the show. Appreciable movements from Cement inward Dokpemo underneath the bridge to Ijana Ipaja. Going into session inward Alagun to Alimosho Road down to Cash Street connecting Moshalashi inward and outward, all looking good. Dokpemo Bridge inward Akowojo roundabout, Shasha traffic lights Sele Shobo also in good shape. Counterflow is still on at Kuala Jimo inward Beda due to newly constructed culvert at Jimo. Mycom Bakery Ogunlano Junction to connect Egbeda looking good. Return journey from Egbeda to connect Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, Oniwaya and Dokpemu Road all looking encouraging at the moment. Still Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1. Let's talk sports. Let's talk everything tennis. World number 1 Yannick Sinner has expected an immediate 3-month ban from tennis after reaching a settlement with the World Anti-Doping Agency over his 2 drugs positive test now last year. What this means is that the 23-year-old Italian who won the Australian Open last month is suspended from 9th of February until until 4th of May, and he will be eligible, by the way, to play at the French Open, the next Grand Slam of the year, which starts on the 19th of May. Sinner had previously been cleared of any wrongdoing by an independent panel after testing positive for banned substance, clenbuterol now, in March. And so what this means is that WADA had been seeking a ban of up to 2 years, having launched an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sports Cars over the 2024 decision by the International Tennis Integrity Agency not to suspend Sinner. Dari, by the way, joins me in the studio. Dari Johnson is, you know him already. He's been my cover-up in the last 2 days, or the last 2 shows. When I say cover-up, I don't mean he's been the one covering my doping ban. He understands what I'm saying. He's been my ally anytime, any day. Dari Johnson, how are you? How have you been?
Jimmy, it's good to be here. I'm glad. I'm glad to be
here. At the drop punchline, Abi.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yes, that's what you do. You are the chief Ramis of traffic radio sports. But
let's talk. And by the way, before talking tennis, I don't know what you've experienced in the last two days. I want to ask you a question, but that will be later on. Is in relation to February 14 and sports. I hope I won't be throwing you off balance. Just get your mind prepared. So let's talk everything tennis. World number 1, Yannick Sinner. We all know that he won't escape any ban. We just don't know how long the ban is going to be. Is this a slap to the wrist? Because at the end of the day, it's 3 months and he won't be missing any major events. Although he may not be part of the maybe the Rome Masters and the WTA 1000 events, but he will be back for the Grand Slam, the clay court, the same court where he won last year.
Jimmy, I mean, what I read in the afternoon was about a settlement being reached between Sinners and WADA. It means that if don't think there is a cover up in any of this. It means they can't find a substantiated claim, substantial claim against him. The claims cannot be substantiated.
No, it was not. It was obvious that it took the banned substance.
But unknowingly, it was not intentional.
Unknowing. I mean, ignorance is not an excuse.
And he proved to be right. And he also, out of this whole thing, sacked those involved. Those that should have prevented him from taking it, because they knew they prepared all of these things for him to help him, and he didn't know. He just took all of that, trusting their judgment. So I believe the WADA and CAS believed what he said. And so if there was really no offense regarding this doping, why ban him for 3 months?
The IT said at the time that the panel found Sinner bore of no fault or negligence for testing positive for low level of metabolites of cholesterol.
So why ban him at all?
A steroid that can be used for building your body mass. It's accepted that being inadvertently contaminated by physiotherapist, who was treating a cut on his hand and with an over-the-counter spray, which was later found to contain the banned substance. So it was basically the case of the physiotherapist.
And he sacked such.
He sacked him at the end of the day.
Two members of his
team.
Yes.
So, well, I mean,
so why ban him if he's not found guilty?
Well,
that's the point. So that must be
so Darry, this way. Let me be the devil's advocate.
They reached a settlement. Sinner and WADA. What settlement?
So Darry, So I think the only reason he has gotten this 3 months was because maybe ITA or WADA now don't want him to just go for free. You understand?
But he didn't do any wrong.
He didn't do any wrong. He didn't do any wrong, but he was tested positive. And negligence or ignorance is not an excuse. So for them not to have set a bad precedence, so let's give you 3 months. Hence the reason it's not going to be missing the French Open. However, I mean, if I have a physiotherapist, they should know better. Or didn't you think that this is a case of Sinner putting the blame on his physio rather than taking responsibility that I took it myself?
Well, we don't know that, and him sacking those people, and they haven't come out to say, okay, we were really sacked.
What if he has paid them heavily?
It doesn't matter. We still don't know. It's a case of assumption. Yes. So we cannot base any judgment on assumption. So nobody has come out.
Then again,
maybe in the future they will come out. One or two of them will come out.
I agree with you.
So okay, this is what has happened. But I'm sure before all of that happened, they would have signed an NDA, non-disclosure agreement.
I haven't said that.
So I
also feel that WADA is smart. They must have found very little quantity that can actually support or build the muscle in that little time of his intake. You understand? Maybe obviously it was from the physio, because if the quantity was that much, then it's never from the for the physio. So hence the reason why he's more or less escaping all of the punishment of 2 years that everyone had been talking about. Still Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1. Let's do traffic update before we continue with the rest of the show. And let's see what we are very quickly around Lekki Peninsula. And vehicular movement from Lekki roundabout approaching Lekki Peninsula Gate, Farm City, Durham Junction, UBA traffic lights, Zenith Junction, Freedom Way rather. It's a door car wash, VFS down Ikate Gate in better shape. Likewise, return journey from Ikate Gate approaching VSF. It's a door car wash and down to Freedom Way, Zenith Junction. Not forgetting the UBA traffic lights, Doan Junction, Admiralty Roundabout and Route Link Bridge back to Farm City down to Lekki Peninsula Gate. Also in good condition. Impediment as we speak, negative. Still Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1. Still talking tennis. Let's look at some of the reactions from the tennis world in relation to Yannick Sinner's ban. And yes, Australian star Nick Kyrgios has reacted to world number one's men's tennis player now Yannick Sinner 3-month ban over doping. Sinner was banned, by the way, by the World Anti-Doping Agency today for doping offense. However, Kyrgios was not pleased. I said it. with 3 months ban describing WADA's decision on Sinner as a sad day for tennis. According to him, the verdict of WADA shows that there is no fairness in tennis. Quoting him, he says, so WADA come out and say it would be 1 to 2 year ban. Obviously, Sinner's team have done everything in their power to just go ahead and take a 3-month ban. No titles lost, no prize money lost. Guilty or not, sad day for tennis. Fairness in tennis does not exist. Do you agree with him?
Yes, I do agree. As I said earlier, if he was not guilty, why ban him at all? And it just shows that something's been swept under the rug.
We've seen women
swept under the rug.
likes of what's the name of this Russian tennis player?
Guilty, why do you ban
Maria
him
Sharapova
for a day? Yeah, okay, the Russian.
Yes, and so many other tennis players been
And that
banned.
even happened. Recently tennis in
in athletics.
track and field, yes.
Yeah.
There was this United States track and sprinter,
Justin
black man.
Gatley.
Not even before Justin. We're talking about 80 something in the 80s.
Okay.
80s, 70s, 60s. It was later found not guilty, but his career had been destroyed.
Whoa.
So would you say it was a case of a black man, and this is not a black man? But we don't want to go into all of that. So as I said, if he was not guilty, why ban him for 3 months?
Do you feel
Why ban him at all?
That's
the point.
Do you feel
So there must be something that's been swept under the rug.
Do you also tennis world knows that at this point in time, Sinner is the poster boy of tennis. Djokovic is going. There's been inconsistency in the men's singles. Now you have a tennis, and this, you giving him that such ban of 2 or 3 years could mean that you may not have consistency in tennis, and the face of tennis after the era of Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, and the likes is gone. So that's the reason why they need to protect this one, to have a long man standing in that face of the poster boy of the men's singles.
It's not a good. First off, it is not a good excuse. If you don't want trouble, don't look for trouble. All right. Sinner getting 2-year ban does not put an end to a game of tennis, a sport, tennis. All right. He will not be the first that will be affected by ban, and he's being stripped of the titles and prize money and all of that. Then the other players that are doing everything right, training regime, eating regime, everything is right. Those ones, don't they deserve to be on the world number 1 stand and then stay there for as long as it takes? You having to pad your success with something else that is not proper, you get rewarded with 3 months ban.
It's becoming.
It's just that Nikiros cannot say anything beyond all of that without proof.
Again,
what he meant actually is huge.
It's becoming one too many. Just in 2024, Iga Swiatek, women's world number 2 tennis player, received 1 month doping ban after testing positive for banned substance tramethacidine. Now is another world number 1 in Jannik Sinner taking 3 months ban. And compared to what you have in Maria Sharapova in 2016, what you have in the likes of Martina Hingis in 2007, and yes, how can you forget, as I'm trying to recall the big names now? It's becoming unbecoming in recent years. I think the ITA they are not doing their job as much as expected.
That we will soon find out what really is going on in the power that is controlling all of these things, that is not making decency to reign in tennis.
And then Barbara Strykova, yes, Barbara Strykova in 2003 and 2013.
You mean Barbara Krejcikova?
Yes, also getting banned as well. And this time it was 6 months suspension.
6 months.
So you can imagine, and of these names I've listed, this is the list apart from Iga Swiatek, who got 1 month. Others have been 2 years. Sharapova was for almost 5 years. And although it was at a time where Russia was under a lot of scrutiny for systematic doping in athletics and all of that.
It was not a good time for Sharapova.
Yes, so, and she could not even prove her innocence at the end of the day. But then again, just like...
My other question is, if a black man
is in this situation,
in this category, what would be reaction? What would have been the ban? band length.
To be a part of the show, the number to call is 08099120777. We go for this, brother. When I return, we talk everything Nigerian football. And, pick your calls as well in relation to all we've been talking about and all that has gone down this weekend in the world of football. From Manchester City, Mamoshin, the likes of Newcastle United, Arsenal just 4 points behind Liverpool.
Nice.
And not forgetting Brighton also dimming the light against Chelsea. After the breather, we talk about all of this. Still Lagos traffic radio 96.1. Very quickly, let's talk for everything local football. Former Super Eagles head coach Jose Peseiro has expressed excitement with his new role as Egyptian Football League giant. Zamalek is the new coach now, the 14-time Egyptian champions. Named Peseiro their new head coach on Friday. It marks Zamalek's second coaching change of the season, with Christian Gross, who replaced Portuguese manager Jose Gomes in December 2024, leaving after just 2 months in charge due to contract dispute. Danny, is this a step up or a step down for Jose Peseiro?
The fact that Jose Peseiro decides to stay in Africa right now, he cannot say this is a job I don't want to take. Besides, coaching Zamalek is not a letdown. They are a big African club side.
So how do you feel going from Super Eagles to Zamalek is not a step down?
In terms of Zamalek being a top flight club side, actually, because there is no other African country rooting or looking for Peseiro now, right? If there was, he would have taken the job.
No, there was a club in Turkey looking for him.
No, African country.
Okay.
If there was, he would have taken the job of coaching. After all, this is our former manager that's coaching Benin. So the job, if it was given, if it was not given that job, and an African club side, a big one at that, came for him, would have gone for them. And I think that he just loves to coach Africa, the African team or Africa sports side. And if he does well, take them to Club World Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, all the way. That's some big move.
Maybe he's trying to be the new Avril Ronaldo of African football.
Maybe.
Move from coaching countries in Africa, and then went to the French female national team, only for him to fall like a pack of cards. Still Lagos traffic radio 96.1. Sport Lane is the show. Let's talk everything. Can we just concentrate? Let's talk everything NPFL very quickly, and I want us to look at the big game this weekend between the first place team and the fifth place team in the Nigerian Premier Football League.
Rangers.
That is Remo Stars against Rangers. I've read the press conference of Ogumodede, the coach of Remo Stars, and he's saying his team is prepared to play against this defending champion of the NPFL. It's a battle of two friends going to war in Daniel Ogumodede against Fidelis Ilechukwu. These are the men that were left in charge of the Super Eagles B team in the absence of Austin Egwenvoy, and they did the job so well. So they are like managers who knows each other in and out, but in this case, a title is at stake. One is going to is ready to defend this title. The other is ready to wrestle the title away from him after back-to-back finishing as runner-up.
Remo Stars, at this point in the season, I'm rooting for them. Match day 24 now of MPFL season.
48 points, 8 points more than Shooting Stars.
So they really have been consistent.
10 points more than even Rivers United.
And they want to keep up with that momentum. So I'm rooting for them actually to get a good result from this game. If not to win, a draw, share of the spoils, and then give them, maintain their level of confidence going to the next game for match day 25.
They are playing this at the Cathedral.
Yeah.
You have a feeling that Enugu Rangers will do everything within their power to win this.
They will do everything within their power, but then Remo Stars have to work on the level of the fact that they are far from Enugu Rangers. They are sitting comfortably at the top of the standings, and they have been there for a while. Not that they just got there last week or 2 weeks ago. So they are consistent. Their consistency should serve as a source of motivation for them. As I said, I'm rooting for them to get at least a point out of this game, not losing at all. And also for MPFL organizers, they actually have decided to televise this match. One of the biggest of this week. As a matter of fact, it's the biggest game of this weekend.
This arguably the best two tactical team in the MPFL. Maybe you also get some tactical display from the likes of Atlant, Lobby Stars, because of the quality of managers involved. Rivers United as well have displayed some quality football this season. Some of the results of games played in the MPFL March Day 24. Canopy Lance is now back-to-back win for them against Abia Warriors. Enyimba as well, 1-0 victory over Rivers United. Kora United, 1-0 victory over Pajosa United. And yes, as we speak, Lobby Stars, by the way, played a 1-1 draw against Castina United. Plateau United also back-to-back wins for them now, with their manager on the odd side, 2-0 against El Kanemi Warriors. Goalless between Nasarawa United and Ikorodu City. Good one for Ikorodu City away from home. Going on at the moment in Sunshine Stars, leading in Ijebu-Ode against Aqua United. Still to come tomorrow now is Atlant against Shooting Stars. Interesting game. Bendel Insurance against Niger Tornadoes. Before talking European football, Darry, very quickly, this will usher us into European football. You are a Liverpoolian, you are a Liverpool fan, I'm an Inter Milan fan. I want to ask you this question. In the season of love, I want to ask this. If you are to take a club fan out on a date, now, when you are a club fan out on a date, the question I would love to ask is, what would that be? And which club fan you can never take out on a date? Like, because you are supporting this club, nah, I can't take you out on a date.
I don't have anything against other clubs.
No. This is
so there is no club fan that I
get it.
That's
I will
my
tell
point. But the thing is, further, my wife switched from being a Liverpool fan to a Man City fan. I'm not going to take.
Nice one.
And I told her, listen, it's this time that you switch that Man City are having a bad run. She said she does not love Salah again. It is Haaland that she loves.
Oh, okay. And Haaland now, that is just the Haaland. He's not even landing softly. Also, which club can you take out on a date apart from Liverpool?
Because I've always had a soft spot for Madrid.
Yeah.
I'll take Madrid fan.
Thank you, Darry. For me, I can't take a Chelsea fan out on a date. Well, from what we know of Chelsea fans in Nigeria, an average Chelsea guy is a lousy person. And so I don't know how their women will be like. I'm just saying, forgive me, Chelsea fans. You can as well throw your banter as well on 0099120077. Well, I'm caught up between two clubs. One, I can take out a Real Madrid fan.
Yeah.
Why? Because Real Madrid is rich. They won't eat much on a date.
I even decide to share.
Yes, they can decide to share the bills too. And then I can't take out an Arsenal fan. I can't take out an Arsenal fan.
Why?
Reason being that if I take them out, I know they don't have trophy in their cabinet. That means their stomach is empty. So for that case, they will eat a lot on their first date. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't mean. You can also do yours on 00991. Nice one. So in this month of love, or in this time of love, in this season of love, which club fan can you take out on a date? Which one can't you take out on a date? We do this, and then when I return, we talk some of the games that have gone down and the ones to come tomorrow. Still Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1. Traffic update from Apapa very quickly. Free flow movement from Auto Wharf inward Johnny Berger Suya connecting Sunrise, both the main carriageway and the service lane movement inward Coconut connecting Tinkan first gate and second gate in good shape. Liverpool, both the bridge and underneath in good shape as well. Liverpool inward Glaxo Junction connecting Niger in good shape. Niger inward Wharf Gate is a little bit busy with articulated truck occupying right lane to navigate their way into Port Corridor. Return journey from Wharf looking good and fast inward Liverpool. Tinkan second gate inward back to First Gate, connecting Coconut in good shape. Coconut inward back to Sunrise, connecting Auto Wharf down to Maotuoke in good shape. Still Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1. Manchester City defeated, what's the name now? Newcastle by 4-0. Mamouche getting his first hat-trick in the EPL. All of that.
Has he even scored before today?
He hasn't scored before today, and then he's opened his scoring boot or his scoring record with a hat-trick. What a way to go for Newcastle after their disgrace to Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Wasn't it a disgrace?
It was actually. How do you explain losing that manner when you are close to at least getting a point? They were in a winning position, then to a draw, and then to a defeat.
Yeah, well, you could. No, it's a disappointing run, but not a disgrace.
Okay, so let's move on from that. Also, how do you explain Real Madrid after defeating Manchester City with that emphatic, heroic comeback, and then you are now playing out the draw against Osasuna?
It happens. I'm sure that they're focusing on the return leg.
Let's also talk about the games come tomorrow. That is Liverpool against, Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United. It looks like a game that is winnable for either of the two teams. But then again, if there is any other name for Tottenham, if there's any other name for Manchester United, is inconsistency.
Both teams have been having a really bad run of form. I mean,
injury crisis for Tottenham as well.
I'm going to beat you or not. The two managers are hanging on a thread, thin thread actually. But then to try and get through this season, maybe next season to
Liverpool against Wolves come tomorrow. We will take this one.
Liverpool should win, although Liverpool have an internal crisis in the sense that the red card they got after the game,
and they've not been able to convince their big boys to renew their contracts.
That was not even a distraction.
Okay.
The fact that the coach will not be there, it has been confirmed that he will be.
Thank you very much, Dare. If you enjoyed today's edition of the show, please make it a date with us. Come next week, Saturday on Sportline. I am Olujimi Dare-Ogun saying stay sporty, stay healthy.